What up, JB, my man?
What up, homie? What's going on? What's good
Welcome.
doing in the MO?
Oh man, I tell you what, I was off today, man. Getting new windows put in the house, and these guys started at 9 o'clock Central Time, and they are still here now. So they have
No
put in a full
kidding.
day's work. Yep. So man,
Wow.
it's gonna be nice. So I ain't been able to open a window in about a year. That's
Nice.
good. That's good. Oh, the robberies can't happen, can they? Can't crawl in through the window.
Yeah, you got that right.
And your kids can't sneak out either, so that's a good thing.
Yes, sir. That's
All
right.
right, man. So welcome to episode 3 of the JB and Manley podcast, my man. How's everything up in Big PA?
We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good right now watching the Phillies and Astros. Verlander just now got out of a jam, bases loaded with 2 outs, and he struck out Reese Hoskins. So I got the Phillies winning in 6, so I'm expecting to win tonight.
Yeah, I got the Phillies winning too, man. Their offense just been hot, even though they cooled down a little bit last night, but about to be expected, man. It is World Series time. You're gonna run into some good pitching, but man, once their offense gets going, they go, man.
They showed it the other night, and then all of a sudden last night couldn't find a hit. I mean, obviously no hitter, so that's
Yeah,
kind of
five,
crazy.
yeah, 5 home runs the other night, and the bats just cooled down overnight.
Yep, yep.
Might have been too much champagne or something going on.
It could be, but I like the series so far, though. A lot of people count Philly out and thought they weren't going to do well, but they play in the NL East, man. You got Atlanta, you got the New York Mets in that same division, so you're going to drop a few games. Your record ain't going to show it, but you know as well as I do, baseball playoffs, it ain't who's the best, it's who's the hottest.
You got that
So
right, man. The Cardinals did the same thing in 06 and 2011. Come in, was the hottest team and won World Series those years, and that's how you do it, man. I tell you what, Philadelphia has been hot since that ninth inning. Come from behind win against the Cardinals,
that's
and
right.
they went through a tough ride to get there, man. So all props to them, man. And you see old Tim McGraw out in the crowd the other night wearing
Yeah,
Tubbs jersey.
got that Tug jersey on. That was nice.
Yeah,
That was a good touch.
had the house rocking.
Yes,
Speaking of
sir.
houses rocking, our picks, baby. JB, last week in week 2 goes 13-7 on the NCAA level. I went 15-5. I give myself a big pat on the back like old Barry Horowitz. On the pro level, JB went 10-4. Yours truly went 9-5. That's a record of JB for 23-11 on the week. 24-10 for the Manley man. But on the season, JB 45-22, and Manley man at 45-22, baby. The race for the trophy, my man.
That's very nice, dude. It's crazy how we have similar picks, but the games that we differ on, we end up equaling out anyway. So that's nuts. That's
Yeah.
good.
Hey, man, speaking of, we'll talk about some top news coming out of NCAA this week. The big firing down at Auburn, and Haslam has gone, and look for a replacement for him. Who are you hearing that might replace him at Auburn?
Well, like we were discussing, Deion Sanders, I really like that fit. I think with things changing up in the SEC and Auburn being on the downslope here last few years, somebody like Deion coming in, you're immediately going to get good recruits. You're going to get good coaching because he's proven himself to be a good football coach. Man, when I first thought he was going to Jackson State, I thought it was just going to be all media show and it was just going to be all hype or whatever. But I'm going to tell you what, he's really done some good things down there at Jackson State. So Jacksonville State, I should say. And I'm really proud of him. I'm really happy for him. But one name not being thrown out there I'm curious about, I wouldn't mind seeing that would be a good fit for Auburn, would be Matt Rule out of Carolina. I mean, he had a good record when he was at Baylor for a while, turned them around, produced a Heisman winner, then went on to the pros, and like most college coaches that go to the pros, it just didn't work out for him. So, that may not be a bad fit for him to come down to the SEC. Personally, I'd like to see Matt Rule come to Penn State because he is from here, but that won't happen.
No, Franklin. Well, you got a good coach here at Penn State, my man. You already trying to replace the man?
We've been trying to replace him for a few years. We like Franklin. He's a great recruiter, but the records have been showing in the big games it's just not happening. He's like 2-12 against Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State, and he's 0 against top 5 teams. So it's not good.
Hey, speaking of Pennsylvania, did you talk to Pinky Towing Company yet?
I didn't see Pinky Toe out running around last weekend. So once I see Pinky Toe, I'm gonna pull him over. I may just park illegally one night.
There you go.
And just wait around the corner for him and be like, "Hey, Pinky, hold on, I got to holler at you."
Pinky Toe, baby. Hey, shout out to Pinky Toe. If you're stuck in the snow, get you a Pinky Toe.
Hey, how this little piggy get to the market? He called Pinky Toe.
Hey, another name I'm going to throw out, and that is Jamie Chadwell, who's coaching Coastal Carolina, and he has done an amazing job for that program. So I'm sitting here watching them right now. They're currently up on App State, 21-14. That is in the second quarter, so a lot of points going to be scored in that one. That is two great teams. I'll tell you what, has made the transition. App State.
Yeah,
they can go anywhere and win, no matter where they play. And when you come into Boone, North Carolina, you better be ready as well.
I tell you what, ever since they beat Michigan a few years back, they put themselves on the map, and they have not left. So, gotta love teams like that.
So, definitely going to be interesting to see who Auburn gets. I don't really know if it's a big-time job like it used to be. You're going to play second field with Alabama. You're in the West. And they're going to have to get a big-name coach, and he's going to have to do some heavy recruiting. And I would tell you right now, if I was the man in charge in Auburn, Deion Sanders would be my man to go to.
I couldn't agree more. I think he would be a perfect fit for the Auburn Tigers and the SEC on top of that. I mean, can you imagine the Aflac commercials after that? Because you already got Saban and Deion on there anyway. So now you got Auburn and Alabama. I think Saban may not want to do a commercial with him anymore.
There you go. Might not. Hey, what was your biggest hell yeah moment from last week?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think back that far. It's the league got me going. I'll tell you what was the biggest hell yeah moment for me. I got to stay home. I got to stay Penn State for the first 3 quarters. They really took it to Ohio State. We slipped up at the end, gave up a quick touchdowns. Very, very impressed with defensive end from Ohio State. I can't think of his name right now, number 44. I mean, he had a hell of a game. Defensive end, freaking responsible for 1 interception, got 2 of his own and a pick six. I mean, come on, man. That's a hell of a ball player right there. So, but we had the lead against Ohio State at halftime, just slipped off. So I have to give that one the biggest hell yeah for me.
Yeah, turnovers really hurt the Nittany Lions, man.
Yep.
Can't do that against a big Ohio State.
No way.
I'm going to dot the I with this drink. Hey, man, I'm going to go with Tennessee, man. Big-time performance, beating Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
Very, very special night there at the Halloween game. Yep. Blackout, playing Rocky Top, fireworks going off. What a scene it was. And speaking of Tennessee, well, they got a big one this week. It's Tennessee and Georgia.
Oh, you kidding? Wow. I'm going to tell you what, though, man. Do not count Tennessee out. Josh Heupel is the freaking man this year. I mean, you got a dude that took over a team that lost more than half of their players to the transfer portal. I mean, not more than half, but lost a ton of players. Started out 3-8, and now all of a sudden you're top team in the country. I mean, Josh Heupel, wow, what a job, you know. And to go in to Athens this weekend to pull out a win against Georgia, who is right now still, in my opinion, the best team in the country because, I mean, they haven't lost yet and defending national champions. So, road runs through Athens. If Tennessee can go through there and win, they are by far best team in the country.
Yeah, for sure. Between the hedges should be a great game. Hey, so what was your biggest toilet flusher of the week?
Man, my upset, man. I think I picked Iowa or somebody to pull off the upset, and I think that game was over at the end of the first quarter, wasn't it?
No, I think Iowa won. Let me see here what Iowa did.
I had one I can't think of what it was that I said that they were
Yeah,
going to
Iowa
win.
won.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was right on that one. There was one I can't remember what it was. It was just like, what? Why are you picking that one? And I said they going to win.
Yeah. Mine is going to be Oklahoma State just laying a fucking egg, a goose egg. Did not show up, so Mike Gundy did not get his boys prepared. And they got blown out the water. So very disappointing. Oklahoma State dropped in the polls. By the way, speaking of polls, we'll go over to the top 25, Tennessee. And this is according to the college football rankings. And this is the first week that it came out. And Tennessee jumped to number 1. They are at 8-0.
Well deserved.
Ohio State, the Buckeyes come in at number 2, and they are also 8-0. Georgia comes in at 3 at 8-0. Clemson at 4 at 8-0. Michigan at number 5 at 8-0. Alabama comes in at number 6 at 7-1. And I think as far as the polls coming out, that is the highest or the lowest, I should say, that Alabama's been since the polls have come out. TCU comes in at number 7 at 8-0, followed by Oregon at 7-1. USC is at number 9. They're at 7-1. LSU, a surprising team,
Yeah, they are.
making a turnaround here, and they're in the top 10. They're at 6-2. What do you think about LSU?
Hey, I mean, having Kelly down there in his first year, a lot wasn't expected from them. Him to come in, I mean, he's just proven time and again that he can coach college football. So, comes right in and does his job as the Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
So
Jay Daniels also doing a good job at quarterback now. He's getting settled in. And look, I'll tell you what, LSU and Alabama play each other. We'll touch on that here in a little bit, but that's going to be a good one to look at. Ole Miss is on their bye week at number 11. UCLA comes on at number 12 at 7-1. Kansas State at 13 at 6-2. And then Utah is at 14 at 6-2. Penn State, your Nittany Lions, come in at 15 at 6-2 on the year. Illinois, another Big Ten team, is at number 16 and 7-1 on the year. I'll tell you what, they got to be one of the surprising teams of the year.
Illinois is a very, very tough team. They have a very good defense.
Yeah.
They not giving up a lot of points, so that's a sleeper team right there.
You got that right for sure. UNC at number 17 at 7-1, and I'll tell you what, UNC just keeps surprising me week in and week out. Coach has done a great job since he went there, turned that program around, put them back on the map. Oklahoma State, the Goose Eggers, coming in at number 18 at 6-2 after a disappointing loss to the Kansas State Wildcats.
Wildcat. Gotta love a Wildcat.
Yeah, they ate that ass up too, for sure. That old poor cowboy lost his boots, his pants, and everything by the time he left Manhattan. Hey, no surprise team at number 19, the Tulane Greenway.
Man, how about Tulane freaking Byron Leftwich, wasn't it? Or he was at Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall. I don't know a football player that's come out of Tulane, do you?
I got research on that. Yeah,
we're gonna have to do a better job next week.
Gotta get something on it. Yeah, I'm gonna take notes on this one. So Tulane.
Hey, number 20, Syracuse at 6-2. 21 is at Wake. They also had a disappointing loss to Louisville last week. They're at 6-2. NC State comes in at 22 at 6-2. Oregon State at 23 at 6-2. Then the Texas Longhorns have moved down to number 24. They are currently at 5-3. And then rounding out the top 25 is Gus Malzahn and his UFC football team. They're at 6-2. And the Golden Knights play the Memphis Tigers this week at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That should be typically in years past. That's always been a high-scoring game. So probably expect the same to come from it. It's one of those things that just it happens. You remember how the Holiday Bowl used to be back in the day? Whoever went to the Holiday Bowl, you had to score at least 40 to be in competition to win the game. For some reason, it's a high-scoring matchup. So I expect that to be the same this week.
Tell you what, the Holiday Bowl seemed like growing up, they always had BYU as in the Holiday Bowl.
Oh, always. Always.
All right, so let's talk about the classic matchups. Number 1, Tennessee at number 3, Georgia, down in Georgia between the hedges.
The only thing I don't like about this is, like I said earlier, Georgia, defending national champions, haven't lost a game yet. I don't understand or see why they are out of the number 1 spot. To me, they're the number 1 team in the country. Tennessee has not beaten them, and it's just it's set up for failure to get Tennessee out of the top 5 if they lose, which is unfair to them. But I'm going with the Vols, baby. I think they've been hot this year. I think they're playing good ball. I'm taking Tennessee in this one.
You know what? I seen an old meme. Josh Heupel was on the mic, and he said it's going to be like the Knights to light went out in Georgia, baby. All Rocky Top's going to play. So the Vols over the Bulldogs for me as well. Good old Rocky Top. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great game to watch, man. I can't wait, man.
Oh, it's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
All right, next game we talk about is the Ohio State Buckeyes, and they're going against Northwestern. Should be a cakewalk. Ohio State favored by a whopping 38 points. Do they cover the spread, JB?
They not only do they cover the spread, I think they're going to cover the spread by halftime.
They told me, I know I talked to them earlier, and they said they're going to cover the spread better than Blue Bonnet does your bread. So we're going Buckeyes.
Oh, yeah, definitely Buckeyes. And like I said, I would not be surprised if it's 35-0 at halftime. After last week playing Penn State, they were by far a better team than Penn State. They should have beaten them by a lot more than they did. The score didn't show it because the game was a lot closer than what it should have been. I don't think Ohio State does that this week. I think they come out and they prove a point.
Yeah. Ohio State, tell you what, we got a big game lingering between 2 Big Ten teams, Ohio State and Michigan. And something's got to give there as well. But we'll talk about that when it comes time. But right now, it's Clemson at Notre Dame. Clemson, of course, 8-0. And Notre Dame beat Syracuse, I believe, last week. And Syracuse gave Clemson a game. So it should be an interesting matchup.
It should be. I think it's going to be a close one. But I think in the end, I think Clemson comes out on top. They're right where they need to be as far as the BCS is concerned. So all they have to do is just keep winning and win, and you're in. So I'm taking Clemson in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to take Clemson as well. I love what Dabo continues to do year in and year out. Clemson's right there. You know what I'm saying?
Dabo, we just do what we do, baby.
Hey, next one is a Big Ten game. The Michigan Wolverines at 8-0 are going to take on Rutgers. Michigan favored by the number of 2 and 6. So 26. Does Michigan cover that, Josh?
You know what? I do not think Michigan covers that. Rutgers is a lot better than what people think. They're not a good ball team, but they will compete. They're going to end up losing. They'll probably end up losing by about 17-20, but I don't think Michigan covers the 26.
Yeah, that's a big score. I will go with Michigan as well, beating the state school of New Jersey, the Rutgers.
Birthplace of college football, baby.
There you go. Hey, here's another big matchup we talked about a little bit earlier, and now we're going to get in depth with it. as number 6 Alabama is 7-1 at number 10 LSU. Bama at Baton Rouge in a night game is favored by 13.5.
Yeah, that's 13.5 is a lot of points in Baton Rouge. That's crazy. If I'm a betting man, I might take the points, but still stick with Alabama to win because Alabama they're in a situation to where Saban's still trying to politic to get them into the Final Four so they can play for a national championship. So I think they pull this one out, but it's going to be a lot closer than 13.5. I tell you that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I believe Alabama wins, but I do not believe they cover the spread. It's just hard to go in LSU. Baton Rouge is a tough place to play. You know, it's going to be crazy. Student section is going to go wild. I got a buddy that's going to be there. He told me he looks forward to it, and they're going to hang Nick Saban, and the Tigers will bite the elephant is what he told me. That's a little animal cruelty, ain't it?
Nah, shit, that elephant's going to take that trunk and bitch slap the tiger.
So we both agree that Alabama moves on and is going to beat LSU. All right, number 7, TCU at 8-0, taking on the Texas Tech Red Raiders out of Lubbock. TCU favored by 8.5.
Oh, horny toads! I think the Horned Frogs end up pulling this one out, but again, 8.5. That's a stretch. But you know what? I think that given how they're playing this year, and I've been a big fan, as I said in the last couple of podcasts we've done. I think TCU wins and covers.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm happy with what Sonny Dykes is doing for TCU, and I've also said on another podcast the other day, Sonny Dykes might be a name in the Auburn bucket. You don't never know, man. He's a winning coach for sure. So yep. I'm going to pick TCU, and also think they cover the spread there in Lubbock against the Red Raiders.
Absolutely.
Are we going to disagree on anything tonight, Josh?
Oh, we'll get there.
All right, here we go. Oregon at Colorado. Number 8, Oregon. The Ducks are favored by 31.5.
Yeah, this is going to be brutal. It's just one of those that, you're just paying Colorado to come play. It's unfortunate because, I mean, they're in the same conference, but that's like, Alabama playing Austin Peay coming up here pretty soon. It's going to be that ugly. So Oregon's just going to kick the shit out of them, send the Buffalo home crying. It's not going to be home where the Buffalo roam, I'll tell you that.
Hey, for all you people that don't know, Austin Peay is over in Clarksville, Tennessee. They're called the Governors, and their slogan is, "Let's go Peay, let's go Peay." So there you go. I have no idea why Alabama plays them year in and year out, but it seems like they play Austin Peay almost every year.
Yep.
All right. So now, number 9, USC taking on Cal. USC favored by 21.5. USC is 7-1 on the year.
Yeah, USC. I think they win. I think they cover. 21.5 is a lot, but I think that they're on the outside looking in as far as BCS is concerned. They're looking to try to get into that Pac-12 championship, try to pull one out before they come to the Big Ten next year. So I think that they're looking to pull out all stops, going to come out and play some good ball and put this game away early.
Yeah, they definitely won a conference championship in their last year there. So I'm going to go with the Trojans also beating the Bears from Cal. Aaron Rodgers territory there. Mm-hmm. All right, next one on the agenda is another Pac-12 game. UCLA at 7-1 against Arizona State. The Bruins are favored by 11.
This one here is going to be kind of tricky. I think this one's actually going to come down to the end. It is one of those possibilities that Arizona State could upset UCLA, believe it or not. I can see something like a a blocked punt for a touchdown, or some kind of fumble pickup for a return for six. UCLA being favored by so much, but this might be the one we're going to differ on, and I just got a feeling something's going to happen. So I'm taking Arizona State this one.
Well, we definitely going to go different on this one. I'm going to pick the Bruins, man. I like what UCLA is doing out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're going to be tough to beat in that Pac-12. Kansas State and Texas, the next one. That is number 13 versus number 24. Kansas State at 6-2, and Texas at 5-3, and Texas favored by 2.5.
Isn't that crazy? Like, there's just no love for Kansas State this year at all. No matter what they do, Texas has been all hype this year and been one of the most disappointed college football teams in the country. They should be right now at least 7-1, and they're not. Kansas State is going to beat them and hopefully beat the shit out of them, because no respect given to the top 15 team in the country. No way.
Yeah, I'm going to go with K-State as well. K-State put a ass whooping on my Missouri Tigers earlier in the year. The only game that Missouri really been out of, pretty impressed. They got a good running back there at K-State. And Little Manhattan should be rocking Saturday as Kansas State with another win. And that should push them over 7 wins. So Kansas State having a great year.
Hey, got a quick update here. Jeremy Pena for Houston just hit a solo shot. Houston's now up 2-1.
2-1. What inning are we in?
We are in, looks like the 4th inning.
4th inning. Oh, Mattress Matt is there too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's there.
He got like $75 million on the game, right?
Man,
How does that even happen?
Man, just give me 10% of it.
Right.
Give me 10%. I'm comfortable.
Give me the 0.5. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll buy it.
The Utah Utes at number 14 taking on the Arizona Wildcats. The Utes at 6-2 are favored by 17.5.
Yeah, the Utes put a pretty good whooping on Arizona. So yeah, it's pretty clear that one will be, well, that'll extend. They'll be close until about the 3rd quarter, and then Utah will put the foot down, run away with it. So I look for them to actually cover and win the ball game.
Yeah, I'm going to go Utah as well. Go Utes. Penn State, your Nittany Lions at 6-2, number 15 in the nation, taking on the Indiana Hoosiers, and they are a 14-point favorite.
Oh, yeah, Penn State's going to cover. However, I would not, or I'm sorry. Penn State's going to win, but I don't know if they'll cover. The reason being is the last 5 years we play Indiana. Indiana has played us close and actually upset us a year ago. So we're looking to redeem that loss from last year against them. And they had Michael Penix at quarterback on a iffy call. It could have went either way. Some say it was a fumble out of bounds. Some say he hit the goal line. So, that was last year. Can't change it now, but I think Penn State wins. Cover, I don't know about, just because I've been impressed with what Coach has done down in Indiana.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Indiana's got Missouri's old quarterback in Basilak, but I don't think that's going to be enough for Indiana. So Penn State, I got winning that one as well. Now, another surprise team on the year, as we talked about earlier, Illinois at 7-1 against Michigan State, and Illinois is favored by, it looks like, by 11.
Illinois is very, very good ball club, great defense this year. I don't know how many points they're giving up, but they're not giving up many. Although I will say that they really haven't played anybody either to give up a whole lot of points. But I mean, we're so far into the season now. They've had to play some Big Ten competition, and I agree that SEC is better than Big Ten, but Big Ten has some good ball teams. So it's all about defense up in this area. I like Illinois in this one. I like them by a touchdown or less, though.
Yeah, I'm going Illinois as well. Impressive year for them at 7-1. UNC taking on Virginia. UNC at 7-1, 7-point favorite against the Cavs.
I've been trying to be on the Cav bandwagon, if there is one, all year. Every time I pick them, they lose. So I'm not going to pick them this time. I'm taking the Tar Heels, baby.
Oh, Tar Heels. I tell you what. What's his name? Mac Brown. He's done
Mac Brown, baby.
outstanding job, man. Once he came out of that booth for ESPN, went back to coaching, and he got the Tar Heels could win their division in the ACC. So that's good.
Mac Brown is a football coach.
Yeah. I'm going Tar Heels as well. Oklahoma State at number 18. They are the 18th team in the nation, at 6-2. And they're going to go to Kansas and play the Jayhawks. And that is a even game, a pick 'em.
Wow. And if it's going to be a pick 'em, I'm going Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby. I think Kansas has been a surprise team this year. It's crazy to say that they've been as good as they have been, but they're not bad this year. Been a decent team. I'm going with Kansas.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jayhawks as well. As a Missouri fan, that's kind of hard, but I'll tell you what, they've had an okay year. They started out great. College game day come, and they've been spiraling downhill ever since. So maybe the Jayhawks can get it back, but they're going to have a tough one. Oklahoma State, coming off a bad loss, are going to be hungry probably to get back in that win column.
Yes, sir.
All right, next is number 19, Tulane. They're at 7-1. They're a 7.5 favor over the Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Man, Tulane. Who would have thought Tulane be 7-1 this year? You know, if you really think about it, Tulane is like in the heart of where Bama and Auburn is. So you have to compete to get recruits to come to your area, and that's crazy.
LSU too.
Yeah, LSU, you're right there. So hell of a job of recruiting and getting them. Now I'm sure that most of the caliber of talent that Tulane has is probably wouldn't be second string on a couple of those teams, but at the same token, it's Division I college football. So I'm taking Tulane to win this, and keep rolling. Green wave, keep rolling.
Green wave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like what Tulane's doing there at 7-1. I look for them to beat Tulsa also. It's going to be a tough game, as Tulsa is hard place to play college football at.
Absolutely.
Number 20, Syracuse at 6-2, taking on Pittsburgh. And Pitt is actually favored by 3.5.
You know what? Syracuse started off hot this year. They started out 6-0. They dropped the last two. I think the thing continues. I think they dropped their third one. And I'm going with the Panthers at Pitt to win this one.
Kenny Pickett going to play in that game, do you know?
He'd have better chance. He has better chance of staying on his feet, that's for sure.
Now I'm going to go with Syracuse to Cuse, the orange.
Orange. Donovan McNabb.
Yeah, just because McNabb went there. I love Jimmy Boeheim, so go Cuse.
That's right.
Hey, Wake Forest, coming off a disappointing week as well, number 21 in the nation. They are a 4-point favored against NC State. Wake at number 21, NC State at number 22. That's going to be a classic matchup there.
I think that one's going to be a dogfight there. Disappointment's going to continue for the Demon Deacons. The only thing that will get them out of there would be a positivity from Tim Duncan himself, and he ain't going to be there to do that for him. So I'm taking NC State for this one.
NC State having some injured players, quarterback as well. So I'm going to go with Hartman and the Demon Deacons and hope they can get back on track there. Number 23, Oregon State, taking on the Huskies of Washington. Oregon State 6-2, but however, the Huskies are favored by 4.5.
That's crazy. I don't see it happening. I think Oregon State wins this. I think they win by 7 to 10 points. So I'm taking Oregon State. The Beavers.
I'm also taking the Beavers because I love the Beaver.
You better believe it.
Nothing like it, baby.
That's right.
Hey, Texas at Kansas State. We already talked about that one. USC at Memphis. The Tigers and the Golden Knights.
Man, it's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be crazy. I can see both of them putting up 35 plus each. What do you happen to know what the over is for that game?
I do not, but I would definitely go to over.
Yeah, I think in the end, I think it's going to be a charge on. But UCF, I think the Golden Knights are going to win that one.
Yeah, I got Golden Knight as well. Gus Malzahn, he is an offensive guru. What he does everywhere is that briefcase over there to my left says all we do is win. That's what Gus does as well. I'm going to go to Central Florida, but I'll tell you right now, I've been down in Memphis a lot this week, and they were getting ready yesterday at the Liberty Bowl, and looks like they're going to have one big party, so you never know.
Memphis does like to party. I mean, that's one of the best party towns in the country, baby. To go down, nothing beats a good party on Beale Street. That's for sure. I know me and you have been a part of a few of them. So those Beale Street flippers down there and all that. So it definitely will be an exciting environment, nice atmosphere. But I think UCF can hold on. Over
and under, by the way, is 58.5.
Yeah, I think it would be about 72.
He might bust 100. I'll tell you what, one of the best days of my life was when I went to college game day on Beale Street at Memphis, and SMU played that day. And I tell you what, it just come up on my memories the other day. And man, what a day. I got there like 5 o'clock that morning on Beale Street. They were already opening up, selling beer. And this son of a bitch was packed all the way from BB King's down to the riverfront with people coming.
Wow.
God,
wow.
Couldn't beat it.
Nothing beats college game day. I've been to a few of them here. It's just, it's awesome. It's exciting. It's just so cool to see Kurt and Scooter and Desmond Howard, one of my favorite college football players of all time, show up. You know, it's so cool, man. So I remember seeing the other day your memory popping up. Right. Mark Southern in the house.
Got the Home Depot helmet right here behind me. Hey, one more game and then we're off to talk about the NFL. But Kentucky Wildcats at 5-3 taking on my Missouri Tigers. Kentucky favored by a point right now.
Wow. You know what? I think Will Levis is playing some good ball. I think Kentucky is doing a good job this year, but you know, I got to go with my home state. I'm gonna take Mizzou to upset in this one.
Good deal, man. I'm gonna go with Mizzou. Well, they looked good last week. Probably put together the best game they've had all year, defensively and offensively. Offense finally showed up to play football. Been worried about them. Been on the bus since week one.
They've really competed in almost every game they played this year. So
yeah, their defense is awesome. The only game they didn't compete in was Kansas State. Other than that, they've been in every ball game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, JB, man, that's the NCAA picks, man. Good luck to you on that. And we'll move on to the NFL. Of course, NFL had the trade deadline this week. Got some movement that went on. Robert Quinn went to the Eagles. Tony from the Giants to the Chiefs. Claypool went from the Steelers to the Bears. Bradley Chubb went to Miami. And also Jeff Wilson, running back, went to Miami. Miami getting some help there for Tua, which could really mean something come playoff time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Some great moves by Miami. So it's just crazy to see that taking place.
Going to Miami, baby. Hey, of course, Thursday night game going right now. We talked about our picks earlier. The Eagles at Houston. I took the Eagles, and I believe they are ahead right now.
Yeah, I don't see the Eagles losing for. I think I have them dropping here in about a week or two. I think they're going to drop a game, but right now I see them winning this week, and I think next week I have them winning as well.
Yeah, Philadelphia it's just too much for Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Houston won 5-1. So we'll see if we can get a score update here.
Those Houston uniforms are pretty fire, though.
Yeah, they are out in their red jerseys tonight.
Man, yeah.
So then we lost Ray Guy.
Ray Guy, of course, died. Longtime punter for the Oakland Raiders. So prayers go out to him and his family.
Yep. Definitely.
See here. Michael's joining us. Thank you for joining us out.
At one point, went to San Francisco as an executive, one of the architects.
So celebrity appearance.
Grandfather of Sean McVay, and Sean credits almost all of his success to his granddad. Absolutely.
Let me get a score here.
So
14-14, all tied up here. First and 10, the second quarter with 20 seconds to go. So I got a ball game going on right there. Of course, the Eagles favored by 7. Chargers 4-3 going against Atlanta at 4-4.
I like the Chargers in this one. Been a big fan of Justin Herbert. I think Chargers end up pulling this one out.
JB's going to go with the Chargers, huh? I tell you what, it's been very inconsistent this year.
They have.
Since Atlanta's at home and Mariota back at quarterback there, I'm going to go with Atlanta, the Falcons. Miami at 5-3, at Chicago at 3-5.
Chicago is one of those teams that watch out in the next couple of years, man. Justin Fields has been proven that he is a quarterback you can build a team around. They don't win this weekend. I think Miami pulls it off. It's just too much. Plus, as we mentioned, they just had a couple of huge pickups that will come into the mix. Probably won't play as well given it's a new team, but I still think Miami has enough to pull this one out.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Tyreek Hill continues to lead the way. So go Miami. Raiders at 2-5, going on the road to Jacksonville, who's at 2-6.
Wow. I think that the Raiders are finally going to win one here. Jacksonville, it's going to be one of those just like, man, it's one of those. Remember a few weeks ago, Amazon had, Thursday night game of Washington Commanders and Chicago or something. I can't remember what it was. It was awful. It's just that's going to be another one of those games. So coin toss, and I'm taking the Raiders.
The Raiders. Well, I'm going to go with Jacksonville. See if Trevor Lawrence can get it done for the Jags. Indianapolis Colts at 3-4-1 on the year are going to New England to take on the Patriots. Patriots currently at 4-4.
Wow. Crazy. It's just, Indianapolis has a lot of talent to be good. Matt Ryan, of course, was just inconsistent as he has been for the last few years. Actually, I think ever since that Super Bowl is when he's really started to go downhill. So I think it's going to come down to coaching, and obviously best coach in the league is Belichick. So I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. You could not ever bet against Belichick because he's one hell of a coach.
Yep.
And he continues to win no matter who his quarterback is.
Absolutely.
The Vikings at 6-1 going to take on those Commandos from Washington. Washington at 4-4.
The Commanders have been playing good ball this year. I mean, they are competing, and to not have their best defensive players for the first 4 weeks of the season and still have a 500 record, that says a lot. I mean, Chase Young is just a beast as far as defenses are concerned. But wow, Minnesota at 6-1 this year, it's hard not to pick them. So I'm taking the Vikings in this one.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins having probably one of his best years. I'm going to go with Minnesota as well.
Yep.
Packers at 3-5, been struggling. As we know, Brett Brett Favre. Listen to me. I'm going way back there. Aaron Rodgers having a thumb issue. Are they going to travel to Detroit and take on the Lions? The Lions are 1-6.
Yeah, it's not going to matter. Aaron Rodgers can throw with his left hand and still put up 300 against Detroit. So I'm taking the Packers, and even though they've been disappointing this year, it's not nearly as bad as being a Detroit Lion fan. So going Packers.
All right. Well, this is going to be my upset pick of the week.
Ooh.
The Detroit Lions beating the Green Bay Packers. You heard it here.
Well, there you
JB
go.
and Manley Podcast.
That's right.
Go Lions, baby. Buffalo Bills at 6-1, taking on the New York Jets. The Jets are at 5-3.
Great team this year. Very impressed with the Jets and how they're playing this year, but Buffalo is just too much and too good. Josh Allen and company are just going to come through and prove why they're the beast of the AFC East.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. Buffalo's the best team in football right now.
Yep.
Josh Allen, best quarterback in the league, probably. The Bills, in my opinion, look like every time they touch the ball, they can go down and score.
Can you believe that Josh Allen was not recruited by a Division I school?
Right.
Like, he had to sell himself, and look at him now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right. Carolina Panthers at 2-6, taking on the struggling Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals taking a ass whooping from the Browns the other night, and Bengals are currently at 4-4.
It's hard to trust the Bengals because you don't know which team is going to show up each week. Every I always try to say that Joey Burrow is going to do something magical, and then he doesn't, and then the following week he does. It's back and forth. So with them taking an ass whooping last weekend, I'm going to say they're going to win this weekend. So I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, I believe they'll bounce back. Carolina's, they're kind of iffy too. Coaching change and going through some of the stuff, getting rid of their best player in McCaffrey, sending him off. So yeah, I'm going to go with Cincy as well.
Yeah, you depart with your head coach, and then on top of that, lose your best player. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
do you even care?
You're packing in the bag right now, and the season's just halfway over.
Yeah.
Seattle Seahawks, a surprising 5-3 with quarterback Geno Smith, will be taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals at 3-5.
Yeah, I think the last time these two teams met, it was a pretty competitive game, but I think that Geno came out and started to make a name for himself for this year. And like I said, I think he's right now comeback player of the year. So I'm taking the Seahawks to win this one.
Well, I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals only because the Cardinals are at home and they need a win. So hoping that Murray can get them going, and I will go with the Cardinals. Tennessee Titans at 5-2, taking on probably the second best team in the National Football League, the Kansas City Chiefs. That is the Sunday night game. The Chiefs set at 5-2.
This is going to be a crazy one. So the way I look at it is Ozzie, shut up.
Who let the dogs out? Who?
My son's coming home.
Hey, Ozzie makes an appearance every week here, folks. We cannot have a show without Ozzie barking, baby.
Ozzie Smith doing his backflip. But, so the Chiefs have a very good run defense. The thing is that they're having a very good run defense against guys they can tackle. Derrick Henry is not a guy you can tackle. So with that being said, if Tennessee can control the ground game, I look for the Titans to actually win this. So I'm taking Tennessee.
Wow, that's got to be your upset pick of the week right there.
You mark it down. I think it will be that, or my Arizona State pick will be my two upsets. My college football upset, my NFL upset. So there you go.
Man, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, but Derrick Henry, of course, the Titans are my team. Derrick Henry is a hoss coming off 200 yards. But Tannehill's still out. They're going to have to run the ball a lot, and I think Kansas City just keys on that. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs to beat my Titans. Monday
it's
night
like
game.
it's like
Go
Jimmy
ahead.
Johnson when he first started at Fox after leaving the Dallas Cowboys, and he picked the Cowboys to lose, and they were like, "What's wrong with you?" And he's like, "Hey, just because I won Super Bowl wouldn't mean I have to pick them every week." So yeah.
There you go. Monday night game, and the last NFL game on our schedule is the Ravens at 5-3, taking on the New Orleans Saints at 3-5.
Wow, it's gonna be this will be a very competitive game here. I look for Baltimore to pull this one out. Be a close one, but I think Baltimore ends up winning this one.
Yeah, I think Lamar Jackson will be the difference in that game. Of course, the Saints, I don't even know who their quarterback is now. I know they've been having Andy Dalton, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah, over
Andy Dalton.
the gingerbread man. Yeah,
That's right. Dalton
yeah,
in there trying to get the Saints going there, but the Saints are 3-5. Baltimore at 5-3. So I'm going to ride with Lamar Jackson and
that's
the
right.
Ravens.
That's right.
All right, JB, that concludes all our picks for this week. So good luck to you, my man.
You too,
We are
brother.
both tight race between us both, man.
Yeah, it's gonna separate us.
What is one thing you're looking forward to this Saturday?
Oh man, let's see. It's got to be Tennessee, Georgia. I mean, that's on the top of the list to see Tennessee go down to Athens and see what they could do against what I think is the number one team in the country, even though it's not showing in the polls. I think Tennessee is going to put up a good showing, and I think they're going to pull it out.
Yeah, that's going to be one heck of a game, and also LSU Alabama game down in Baton Rouge, a night game. So that's going to be something else to watch. But the game of the week is definitely number one, Tennessee taking on those Georgia Bulldogs.
It's going to be nuts.
All right, man. That's going to conclude our show for this week. So episode 3 of JB and Manley podcast is a wrap. Until next time, this is the Manly Man. That's JB. And always remember, we'll quiver, liver, and shatter bladder, baby. Make the earthquake, the walls shake. Woo! And somebody's heart break, baby.
Hey, happy birthday, Metallica. 41 years, baby.
Woo, baby. My birthday's Sunday. I'll be the big 5-2. I'm out.